What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster-in-chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a Dimir Tempo Artifacts brew that I've just thrown together. It's a very early version one, but I really think there's something to this. I haven't had as much time to play test it as I usually put into my brews because I'm looking after a very, very sick little 3-year-old, which is also why I missed yesterday's video. So my apologies, but as you know, family comes first. But anyway, that isn't to say that it's a bad deck. It's just it's a version 1 and we'll probably be playing it in unranked just to iron out some kinks, BrewLab fashion, tinkering as we do. So, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. DimirTifacts. And it's an interesting one. Let's see if we can make this good with some adjustments along the way if necessary. But essentially, we're leveraging the two mythic prototype cards for their colors, so the blue one and the black one. We're never going to be casting these for the full 7 mana in 90% of the games. We're just going to be casting these for their prototype cost of 3. And they do cool things for us in this deck, which is essentially a Patchwork Automaton deck. So Patchwork Automaton, whenever you cast an artifact, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. We've seen this guy a while now. I've tried it in many different color combinations. So why Dimir? Well, in this case, we get other threats. The problem with the Patchwork deck is that you might have some opening hands where you don't have one in it. By the time you top deck one and then you start to cast your artifacts on top of it, it gets a bit slow if it's not like in your opening hand. And then it's a removal magnet. Your opponents just throw every removal they have at it. And once it's gone, the deck kind of falls apart. So now we've got some other must-remove threats that the opponent's limited removal, he needs to kind of make a choice. Am I going to remove the automaton or one of these other very important must-remove targets? And that's going to kind of help either one or the other stay on the board and continue to provide us with the beatdown. So what are those? Well, first one is the Surge Engine. Even just with one activation becomes unblockable, and you swing it in for 3 every turn. Then second activation, you swing in for 5, unblockable every turn. It's only so many hits like that the opponent can take before they die or they must remove it. So that's one less removal spell in their hand that they have available for your Patchwork, or vice versa. And of course, casting the one grows the other. It also can draw you some cards. Just can't gush enough about this card. I'm absolutely... one of my favorite blue cards in a while. Then we've got the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, which also has ward like a Patchwork, which is great. It's an artifact, so it grows the Patchwork when you cast it, but then it's this, menacing, lifelinker that's swinging in every turn that the opponent kind of needs to deal with, especially aggro decks. They don't want you to gain any life. They kind of need to deal with it. Sweet, that's one less removal spell that they're targeting at your Patchwork, and that can continue to swing in. So, as you can see, sort of diversifying our threats. And the rest of the deck is just there to, control the board as much as possible. We're trying to take advantage of the Arcane Proxy. Okay, I don't know what that was. Which unfortunately doesn't have Flash. So I'll explain why that's a problem. If it did have Flash, we might run some counter spells in a Dimir deck. You play Brew, you should play some counter spells. Well, we're not playing any counter spells in this deck because we can't get them again. There's no point in playing a free counterspell from your graveyard on your turn. If this thing had Flash and you could flash it in and then catch a counterspell and counter something else, then we'd have counterspells and this card would be absolutely busted. But right now, fortunately, it doesn't. So you can do this at sorcery speed. So you want removal, bounce spells, card draw spells that are mana value 2 or less in your graveyard, and then you can copy them and cast them without paying their mana value, without paying their mana costs with the Arcane Proxy. So we've got things like Rona's Vortex to bounce things, cut downs for removal, a little bit of hand hate with the Dread Fugue. I've got a sneaky one of Eaten Alive with its fodder. We've also got Impulse to draw some cards, Infernal Grasp to remove things. So all of these things, once they've been cast, they're sitting in your graveyard. That's fine, because you top deck an Arcane Proxy, you can cast them again. And that's going to help us keep those lanes free of blockers for the Patchwork and, you know, Phyrexian Fleshgorger and the Blade of the Oni. I mean, it's another artifact. It's also a 3, you know, power menacing threat that just keeps on attacking. And then in the late game, I love equipping it to, or, you know, reconfiguring it onto the Fleshgorger, making it a 5/5 menace. Lifelink ward, pay 5 life, So pretty nice. Also, don't mind putting it on the Surge engine because it increases the base power and toughness. So you want to put it on the thing that has the lowest base power and toughness. In this case, it's clearly the Patchwork because it's a 1/1 at its base. So then however many +1/+1 counters you got on top of that, plus, you know, now it's a 5/5 instead with the Blade of the Oni. It's pretty nice. So another little bit of top end action that we can do with our reconfigure, and that's kind of it. If the game goes super long, then we top decking these things in the late game. We can also play them for their full mana value, but there's really no payoff for that for the Arcane Proxy, whereas the Fleshgorger, definitely. Don't forget, we've got +1/+1 counters to redistribute around with the Iron Apprentice when it dies, so you can put those on the Fleshgorger. It's a great target for them. You can also put them on your Surge engine as it's unblockable. You know, the bigger it gets, the better. There's plenty of little bits and places that you can put those on which help out. And that's the deck. Pretty straightforward plan. We've got 4 islands, 4 swamps, 1 Otawara, 1 Takenuma, 4 of each of the dual lands in these colors, 2 grottos and 2 foundries. Let's jump into some games. See how it performs, make some adjustments, fine tune, play some more games. And then if I'm feeling like we've found something that's sound, then we might take it for a spin on the Mythic Diamond ladder. I've made Diamond. I'm in Diamond 2, and I'm climbing steady. So I don't. That's another reason why I don't want to necessarily play some untested potential jank right now on the ladder. But I feel like I'm gonna be Mythic pretty quickly. The Mardu Angels list is just busted for best of 3. I've been loving it. Okay. Pity it's all pain lands, but that's okay. Not against mono red. Played about against 1 million mono red opponents in unranked since I started playing this morning. Fleshgorger is great in this matchup. Or we could go... yeah, Blade. Remove something. Probably the Swift Spear. Pain lands are a pain. It's not looking great, guys. Mono red continues to be a really, really strong deck. Infernal Grasp, the worst removal against this deck possible. The Pain Land's really just punishing us. And Shivan Devastator off the top. Puts the nail in the coffin. Alright. That felt pretty terrible. There's not much we can do against that. Just kind of roll the dice again. I've won matches against Mono Red with this deck. I just need to get the Fleshgorger down without Pain Lands. And swing a few times to, you know, balance things out a little. Spell Stutter. Looks good. Oh, make disappear. Come on. We all know you got it. What? Okay. Then maybe just a braid on my blade. Any day now. When I see this pet, I often think it's somebody on mobile, which might explain the roping. Okay, seems like he's back. Wow, dude. Yeah, definitely, I mean, looks like mobile. The speed of the moves. Let's see now. Maestros, is it Grixis? It is Grixis. Yes, yes, yes. Use it all up. Okay, do you have another play with fire maybe in your hand? Is that a thing that you have? You know. 3 in a row in the top 10 cards of his library. Wow, just great. I'm fairly certain he's got another removal spell here. I would not be surprised. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. What are we doing here? Dude, this is insane. I don't think I've ever had a match like that. I mean, it's been a while. What is this deck? Grixis control? Let's get this removal out of your hand. Man, that was just bonkers. Like every single card I cast. Was either countered or removed. Let's go with Impulse. Oh, man, that was bonkers. Strangle, strangle. Infernal Grasp, strangle, strangle, spell pierce. 3 play with fire. Just like, okay. Unsummoning Sict Reflection. What are you copying? Nothing. Ooh. What are you holding up, my friend? That's great. Unblockable. Draws a card. Okay, we have to risk this. Unbelievable. But we can go for the full 7 mana Fleshgorger next turn if we can somehow survive.
See me coming. I know something you don't know.
Wow, removal tribal. Or I guess he just had, you know, he drew that side of his library where it was just like all of his removal on the top. I like that. Seems interesting. Like Fleshgorger, hostile negotiations. Maybe had some reanimation stuff planned. Interesting. However, still just Shieldred and Fable. It may be some time before those cards don't see play. They're just that good. It's kind of the problem with the Puppeteer, the Gix's Puppeteer. It's another 4-drop in black that's just not as good as Shieldred. It's a really good card, but it's not as good, so just won't see any play. Pardon me. Jackwheel. Arcane Proxy. Use your Fading Hope. And then you can use it again with the proxy. He's going for the mill plan here with the Teresian Mindbreaker. Sweet ass card, by the way. Play with fire would do it. Of course you have 2 of them. Scrutiny for 2. Well, we got double Patchwork. Maybe even a burn down the house. I've no idea what's going on here, which is great. It's just how I like to play. Let's take a peek. You don't have enough mana to kill my patchy boy. Okay. Most efficient line. We can level this up and hold up a Vortex. Oh, you can use your Fading Hope. I guess he's gonna play the Iconoclast, and then Fading Hope, the Surge Engine. Or maybe he goes for the Patchy Boy. Doesn't have the mana though. Ooh. Ooh. Hello.
Don't worry.
Well, my unblockable engine here is pretty happy about that.
Two beauties coming at you.
Cannot be blocketh, my dear fellow. Okay. The old block with everything, but I get rid of one of the blockers. So you don't get rid of my stuff, but I still get rid of all of your stuff. Trick. I'm still worrying about burn down the house, I guess, but... That's how it's done. Okay. I mean, there's something to this. I hope you guys can agree. The question here is, do we have the best possible spells to get back with our proxy? Could we do better in the 1-drop slot than Rona's Vortex? Would a Fading Hope be better? Because then we can use it to save our own stuff occasionally as well. Again, the proxy doesn't have flash, so it makes that interaction a little less good. But still. Maybe the Fading Hope's the better option, but I like the fact that we can, we can Rona's Vortex Planeswalkers. I love opening with a grotto. I'll take some of that. Oh, no, mono red again. Play with fire to the face. Blah, 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 blah. Ridiculous turn from the mono-red player, and now we are forced to use Infernal Grasp, which is just, so punishing. You always have another one. Oh, it just makes me wanna puke. Oh, please make it stop. You've got another play with fire. Whew! Alright. So we have to deal with this. Okay. No spells, fortunately. He may just have a lightning strike. Woo-hoo. Okay. Whew. Dangling on against mono red. Just barely. Not now, bro. Okay. I think we draw the cards here. Oof. Okay. We've got the 7, but that doesn't really matter. We just get a bigger proxy. 4-3 instead of a 2. I think we just go for the 2 impulse. Yes, baby. All right, guys. I think there isn't much else more that we need to really see here. I think there's more to discuss than there is to see. We've done everything that we needed to do. The deck, every line that I discussed in the deck tech ended up happening. You know, we used our Arcane Proxies to great effect there, recasting our removal. The Surge Engine just kept on getting removed in most matches, but, you know, doing its job, becoming an alternate removal magnet to the Patchwork. Dread Fugue was great. I love it. I'm going to keep it. We were unable to test whether Eaten Alive could, you know, be cast for free without having to sacrifice a creature off of the Arcane Proxy. But we'll have to keep playing too. I'll let you know in some comments somewhere or on some social media. But for now, this early version 1 feels pretty sweet, and something that I think with a bit more work might actually click into a full-on legit playable deck. So I'm going to keep working on this Dimir Tempo. I don't know if it's going to necessarily remain, you know, Patchwork Automaton fixed. Maybe we'll do something else, but I like this this proxy. I wanna see what more we can do with it. The next deck that I've been thinking about is this planar incision deck. You know, maybe play Esper Blink, and you put in the channel artifact, touch the Spirit Realm, and, you know, cast your Phyrexian Fleshgorger on turn 3, and then turn 4 you either planar incision it or touch the Spirit Realm. And I think there's one other that I can dig up, which means you get it back unprototyped with an additional +1/+1 counter in the case of the planar incision. So still got to do a deck around that, like blinking prototypes that can be blinked, but we won't include the Arcane Proxy in that list because of the if you cast it little bit of text there. But there's other good prototypes, and I want to give that a whirl, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. I hope you enjoyed it, and you know, if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, it means the world to me. We're getting very close to 900 subs, so share it around to all your friends. I will be seeing you all tomorrow with another fresh brew, and until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.